Who's ready to win some money? It is week 6 NFL best bets time. That's right. We already started out 1-0 if you followed our Instagram bet. A little under 38 on the Commanders and Bears. That was easy because those offenses suck. And I think it was under 20, if I'm not mistaken. So, anyways, we're going to go over 3 of the bigger games and then dive into our best bets. We got 7 best bets for you today. So, it's going to be awesome. We got both NBA preview videos already out, so be sure to check those out for the Eastern and Western Conference. We got future bets and all that fun stuff on those. So we're going to be releasing a video here in a few days with our top 5 or starting 5 on who we would pick from the NBA. So it's going to be a fun debate, and yeah, be sure to go check that out when it comes out. So on the year, we are 25-23, and we are up 6.96 units. So we need to keep that rolling. We need to keep moving away from even and get going big. And we got some big bets for you this weekend, let me tell you. So here we go. Yeah, Ryan's shaking his head because yeah, he's got some good ones. So we're gonna dive in. First big game. Everyone's talking about it. Bills at Chiefs. It's the Chiefs plus 2.5 over under 54.5. What do we think, Ryan?
Yeah, it's probably the biggest game of the season. The playoffs, it has huge impact on the playoffs. If the Bills win, they might get home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs. If the Chiefs win, who knows? They can be home field advantage for the entire playoffs. And I think just both of those stadiums play huge roles for both teams. It was the most exciting playoff slash season game last year at in total. 13 seconds, and Mahomes goes down and does his magic, and they send the Bills packing. So the Bills definitely want to redeem themselves and show that they have it, but I'm not sure. I think the Chiefs are still the better team and can kind of do the things that they need to do and show that they're still the best in the AFC, and they're the ones that's going to the championship.
So you're leaning Chiefs plus 2.5 or money line. Is that what you're saying?
Yep, I would be leaning that way. I was really close to putting them into my best bets, but I went against it. I got a different one in the best bets for a game, but yeah, I'd be leaning
All right.
the
Well,
Chiefs on this one.
I disagree with you on that.
No.
Listen, the Bills have this game circled. Okay, they've had it circled since last year. I know it's weird. The Chiefs are home underdogs, and the books are just tempting you to take the Chiefs. Everybody and their mother wants to take the Chiefs in this one. The Bills are 6th in sacks. They're going to put pressure on Mahomes. These are the 2 best offenses in the league. They're both averaging over 30 points a game. The over might be a good look, but the Chiefs can struggle a little bit when they face decent defenses. So my lean is the Bills minus 2.5 in this. Again, it's not an official bet for me either, but I do lean them. The Chiefs have given up 60 points in the last 2 games, so their defense can be beat. I think the Bills are going to put up quite a bit of points. It's just a matter if the Bills can slow down the Chiefs, which I think they are good enough to where they can at least slow them down. So I lean Bills minus 2.5, but again, I don't think either of us have a best bet on this one. So
I got
that's going
a
to be a fun game.
best bet in it, but not the game.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Don't give that away. That's right. So we do have a player prop in that one. So we'll get to that. So yeah, that's a fun one. So we don't have a best bet, so we can just enjoy it. We can watch it, enjoy it, and take in all the points because this one could hit 60 easily. So next game, Sunday Night Football, the NFC East. I didn't think we'd have an NFC East matchup where we have what 4-1 and 5-0 right now.
Yeah.
Cowboys at Eagles. It is Eagles minus 6.5. If you just look at records, you think, well, 5-0, 4-1. Why is it almost a full touchdown favorite? So we'll tell you why. But over under is 42. What do you think about this game?
I think this is the game Cooper Rush loses as a starter finally. It's he's due time. It's gonna happen. The Eagles are the better team. It is very cool to see like one of the better offenses in the league face one of the best defenses in the league. So it's strength versus strength. Let's see what we get. Can Hurts handle all the pressure this time? They don't got a blitz to get the pressure. It's going to be 4 guys, and they can get to the quarterback. The Cowboys really just get after that quarterback. You think Hurts is going to do enough? Or can he still run? Can he throw it downfield? What are your thoughts more specifically on that part of the game?
To be honest, the Eagles and Jalen Hurts, they're gonna face the best pressure rate defense in the league, like you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned. I mean, they are gonna get a lot of pressure on Hurts, and he hasn't thrown a lot of passing touchdowns, as we talked about last time. So I see this being a very low scoring game, maybe in the high teens, low 20s. I think the Eagles make enough plays, but I do think this is going to be a challenge for the Eagles offense. We're going to find out really how good that Eagles offensive line is or how good that Cowboys defensive line. I'm telling you, that's one of the best matchups of the weekend is those two in the trenches right there. I mean, that's best on best right there. So that's going to be exciting to watch. Cowboys have won 7 of the last 9 games versus the Eagles.
Hmm.
So they kind of own them a little bit. And yeah, Eagles are just so good all around right now. They're top 7 in points per game and also top 7 in points given up per game. So
Eh, That's where I think the kicker is. I don't think the Cowboys are going to be able to score enough against the Eagles defense because the Eagles have a legit defense as well.
yes, agree. And I think, I think he could stay close for a while and then the Eagles finally start taking over. They score, too much for Cooper Rush. He's averaging like 168 pass yards
Yep.
per game right now. I think this is a game where they're going to need Cooper Rush and they're going to realize, okay, he's not giving us quite enough of what we need. And I think Dak's due back in the next couple weeks too. So I this is a hard game to bet. I want to lean Eagles, but 6.5 is a lot in a low scoring divisional game. So I can't even lean anywhere. What about you? You got any sides or over
I
or
would
under?
lean the Eagles win, but as far as betting and odds and all those going with it, I couldn't. No, I'd stay away from it. Like you said, divisional games, and you just don't know what you're going to get. Both teams know each other very
No.
well. Yes, they're different teams, first time this season, but you still kind of know tendencies, and you circle these games because they matter a lot in division games and records
Yep.
and playoffs. So huge game.
No. I agree. When I first saw it, I was like, you know what? I think this can be a defensive battle. I'm probably going to look at an under, but then the books kind of thought the same way as me, unfortunately, because 42 is low.
That is
And I
low.
can see, 24-20 game and lose the under. And so I just stayed away. Stay away game, good game. But that's where we're at with that. So last one, Monday Night Football, Broncos at Chargers. Chargers -5 over under 45.5. I'm not going to go on a Russell Wilson rant right now, but I will say this. We all know this. The Broncos are 31st in points scored. And when they get in the red zone, they score a touchdown 21% of the time. 21% of the time. They are the worst in the league, and it's not even close. So Russ has a shoulder injury. He's not 100%. Doesn't really matter if he is 100%. Chargers are top 10 in yards and points per game. Their offense has actually kind of been rolling a little bit lately after they had a little slide there for a while when Herbert was hurt and all that. So, along with that, the Broncos are 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 road games. So I remember they just had a road game against the Raiders recently, and their defense did not show up. So when their defense doesn't show up, they have no chance because their offense is pathetic right now. So I like Chargers -5. Almost made a best bet, and it might make our Instagram Monday night bet. We will see. Ryan, what do you think?
Uh, I don't really want to talk a whole bunch about this game or whatnot because mine's more so about the storyline of the game, and I don't want to hear it. It's all going to be about Russell Wilson's shoulder, back injury, lat injury, and this is the why he's sucking. And no, that's not it. He's not a good quarterback right now. It's not because of a stupid lat. This team cannot score the football, and they suck at offense, like period. But no, it's gonna be all about his lat because he's the golden boy of the NFL right now. So, oh my gosh, I'm tired of it. I
Well,
hope the Chargers
I will
put a beat
say
down.
beat down, baby. I will say this. I don't think he's the golden boy anymore. I mean, he's getting made fun of all over the internet, on Twitter, just everywhere. I mean, people know who he is. I will say this. If Russell Wilson didn't have his name in his track history and his contract, if it was just like another Baker Mayfield type of player, he'd be close to getting benched. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, that's
They
what I
they
mean,
would
though.
be, yeah,
He's a golden boy to the NFL and some of the national media still, but players, people, smaller podcast things, they're figuring it out. And they're like, "Oh, this isn't
yeah,
for real." Or he's not for real. Like, yeah,
yeah.
it's
I
definitely
agree.
going that way.
Yep. Chargers, let's ride. All right, here we go.
Exactly.
Here we go. Best bets time. Best time of the week. Here we go. I'm gonna start out because I got 4 for you. And we're gonna win some games this week. So my first one, over 43.5. Patriots and Browns. Listen, the Browns and the Patriots both are terrible against the run. but they both have good run offenses. So this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough for either defense because the matchup's just not good. Last week, the Browns, listen to this. They played the Chargers last week, the Browns, okay? Chargers went into that game as the worst running offense in the league. I think we talked about it a little bit too, as Eckler wasn't getting many yards. They have struggled against the run, right? Eckler leading up to that game, I'm going to keep going. 2.6 yards per carry, 2.8 yards per carry. This is per week. 1.3 yards per carry, then 4.6. All games have been terrible. Played the Browns last week, 10.8 yards a carry. Okay. He just absolutely obliterated him. 16 carries for 173 yards. I mean, this Browns rush defense is a bottom 5 rush defense. And then we flip it around, and the Browns offense should be able to run all over the Patriots because the Browns, listen to this stat, 45% of the Browns drives on offense have made it to the opponent's red zone. Pretty much half of their offensive possessions have made it to the red zone. So they are moving the ball with ease. I don't see the Patriots, and they've been struggling against the run also. I don't see them stopping Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. I don't see that at all. This 43.5 is way too low. It needs to be higher. So we're going to go over. Lock that in. It's a good one. You're up.
All right. I got a player prop here. I'm going to go with Isaiah McKenzie, the Bills slot receiver, at an anytime touchdowns for plus 205. Here's some great stats. Here we go. Ready? Slot receivers for the Bills have scored a touchdown in 4 of the 5 games. The first 2 games, Isaiah McKenzie wasn't getting many targets. Then he had 9 targets, 7 catches, and a touchdown. The next game, he was started 6 times, left the game early because of concussion, and 4 catches and a touchdown. Crowder's not in this game, and that's who he was sharing reps with. He broke his ankle. He's out, so Isaiah McKenzie's going to get the majority of the snaps at slot wide receiver. And another thing, the over for this game or over-under for this game is 54.5. That's a lot of points to be putting up. So there's going to be a lot of touchdowns. Isaiah McKenzie has a great chance of getting a touchdown, I believe. So we're going with that one.
Love it. Love it. And the Chiefs probably struggle a little bit. I know they have lately against receivers. I don't know. They've given up 60 points in the last 2 games. So their defense is struggling. I love it. Love it. Good odds, too. That'd be a big win. So let's go. Bet number 2 for me, the Dolphins plus 3.5. I know what you're saying. The quarterback situation is a mess. Bridgewater looks like he's back, but they're not going to play him because they got enough backlash from Tua. So they're going to give Bridgewater probably another week. So it's going to be Skylar Thompson. Skylar Thompson, what a stud. No, here's the deal. This is all about the Vikings. Why are the Vikings, I know we're going to get into this again probably, Ryan, but why are they 3-point favorites on the road against a good team? Do you answer that? Can you answer that for me before I get into it?
I can't. I mean,
It-
I know I've been on the Vikings and going for them and cheering for them, but they almost blew it last week for me too. So
Exactly. I don't. So listen, the Vikings they barely beat the injury-ridden Saints and Lions, and I mean barely, and they were both just shattered with injuries. And they had to come back in the fourth quarter to beat the Bears in the fourth quarter or at home last week. Okay, that's one thing. First of all, so they are not a good team. Don't be fooled by their 4-1 record. I'm sorry, they are a decent team, but they are not this good to be this big of a favorite on the road. Kirk Cousins, 21 of 44 with 2 picks against the blitz. Dolphins love the blitz. Last time we saw Kirk Cousins facing the blitz, it was the Eagles. You know how that game went on primetime. It wasn't pretty. Okay? The Dolphins could win outright. If you want to go money line, you want a good plus money one, take it. I'm going to take the 3.5 because that just seems too easy. I'm going to play it safe. Dolphins are going to bounce back. They're at home. Minnesota has to go to the hot weather of Miami. Ask Buffalo how that is. I think they have like 3 or 4 guys go down with heat illnesses. They're not a great road team, Minnesota. They haven't been in the last few years. So lock that in. Dolphins plus 3.5, even with Skylar Thompson at quarterback.
all righty. I'm going to go. Yep, here I go. I'm going Kenny Pickett. I know. What are you guys thinking? Kenny Pickett over 1.5 touchdowns for this game. Hear me out. Hold on. Hear me out. The Buccaneers are going to score some points. Pittsburgh cannot play defense. They're really terrible at stopping the pass. What do the Bucs do good? Oh, they pass the ball. So they're going to put up points. What does it matter if Kenny Pickett throws a pick or two, whatnot? He's going to have chances to throw the ball and throw the ball a lot. He threw the ball last game 50 plus times. So what's he going to do this game, I believe? Throw it again, even more. The Steelers cannot really run the football. Their O-line's terrible. So what's the point? As long as Kenny Pickett doesn't get hurt, I can see him hitting 2 touchdowns in this game pretty easily. They got good receivers. The Steelers do, and they're just going to take their shots. What did they have to lose? They're already probably going to lose the game. They're going to lose the game by a good amount, I think. So they're going to have to, swing for the fences some. He gets 2 touchdowns, and it's at plus 175.
Good odds. Listen, that's bold. I like it. It's bold.
Yep.
Yeah, he threw it 50-something times and had 0 touchdowns last week. So I will say that I think that the Bills' defense is legit, like just elite. I know the Bucks' defense is good, but I don't think they're as good as the Bills. He's got a little more chance. I think his first home start will help, having a
Yep.
quiet crowd when he gets the ball, just kind of to calm him down a little bit. So the kid's got confidence. Like you said, he can have 3 picks. They can lose by 30. Just throw 2 passing touchdowns. That's all we need.
Yep. That's all we
All
got to
right.
do. I don't care if they
That's
lose by
all.
20.
Yeah, who cares? Kenny Pickett. And you know what? He might have one and be down 20 at the end of the game and throw a garbage touchdown for a second. Guess what? Garbage touchdowns count just as much as the other touchdowns. So.
Exactly.
All right. Hopefully we get that Pickett. My bet number 3. Are we ready for this? Colts team total under 21.5. This Colts team has not hit the over on team total all year. 0-5 on the over. Okay, so that means they're 5-0 to the under. So you think, okay, the books have adjusted and they'll hit eventually, and they will, just not this game. Here's what they've scored: 5 games: 20, 0, 20, 17, 12. I'm gonna let you think about that for a second. Okay, yeah, none of them have been over 21.5 yet. So they just played the Jags a few weeks ago. Guess how many they scored? That was the goose egg. The big 0. That's right. And I'm not saying the Jags are going to absolutely dominate them like that, 24-0 again. But the Jags have had their number for a while. That wasn't a fluke game. They beat them in that huge game last year when the Jags weren't even that good to knock them out of the playoffs. So Jonathan Taylor may be back. Their O-line is a mess. Matt Ryan's a mess. I just don't see them getting over 21.5 at all. The only way I see it is maybe if the Jags just put up 27, 30, and they're just keeping up and it's a track meet, but that's about it. So Colts team total under 21.5 at minus 110. Lock that in. What do you got for your last pick?
Yep. I got the Bengals at -2 at minus 110. You kind of already mentioned it. The Saints, they're still struggling with the injuries. They lost Chris Olave. He's out with concussion stuff, I believe. Michael Thomas is still out. Jameis Winston's still out. Kamara's still nursing, I think. Was it a rib thing that he has going on? I don't think the Saints were going to score that many points against the Seahawks. Well, they're going to score points against the Seahawks. Don't get me wrong. But not quite that many and win. But the Seahawks suck at defense, and Taysom Hill did everything. So the Bengals have a much better defense than the Seahawks, and I think it's going to be hard for the Saints to move the football and score points and win the game, potentially. I want to take it safe, though, and go with the -2. But yeah, the Bengals are playing pretty good defense, and Joe Burrow's got to figure it out and get it going at some point in time. And I think this is his opportunity. I think you were even telling me that Lattimore might be injured and be out for this game potentially.
Yep.
I don't know if I got is he officially out or is he just not practicing right
They
now?
haven't said he's official out, but I don't think he's practiced all week. And I don't know if you mentioned him. I think Jarvis Landry is also not practiced all
Oh,
week.
I
So
forgot that one
pretty
too.
much all of their weapons on the outside are out. Olave looks like he has the best chance, but unless they all surprise us in practice over the weekend. So
Yeah, when you have that many people out and what are you going to do on offense? In order to win the game, you got to score some points. Like the Bengals could
I
score,
don't know.
10 and be fine if you don't have any weapons. So the Saints are definitely missing some weapons. So that's why I'm taking the -2 there for the Bengals.
I like it. Just to let people know, I think T. Higgins, you may already know, is questionable also for your Bengals.
Yep.
He's kind of been off and on questionable all year. So if he doesn't play, that hurts you a little bit. But I'm guessing you're still confident in it. They still got
Yeah,
Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, all those guys. So
exactly, and it's more so the Bengals' defense is good, and they're playing a team that doesn't have any weapons and no starting quarterback. And Seahawks gave up 4 touchdowns to Taysom Hill. I don't think
I
he's
was gonna
doing that
say,
again. I
I was
mean,
gonna
if
say
he is,
weapons. He is the weapon.
he was the
He is
only
the best
weapon.
tight end, quarterback, running back in the league.
Yeah, we couldn't do anything to stop that dude. But no, I think with the Saints will be much better off defensively
Yeah.
than the Seahawks.
I'm gonna be honest, is that Seahawks defense may be one of the worst defenses our franchise has ever had. I
Oh,
mean,
it's
ever.
bad.
I can't remember every one of them, but whew, is it bad. Luckily, their offense is fun to watch. All right, ready for the big one?
Yep, the big one. Go for it.
Plus 425. It's a money line parlay. Jaguars and our Seattle Seahawks money line. They both have to win. All they have to do is win the game, not cover any spread or anything like that. Jaguars money line. We already talked about it. Colts suck. They just don't look very good. I know they're 2-2-1. Don't be fooled by the record and how it all went. They got a win at the buzzer against Denver, who's terrible, and a lucky win against the Chiefs, like we talked about. So Jaguars already beat them 24-0. All they got to do is do it again. They've been dominating this series lately, and so Jaguars money line is the first part of that parlay. The second is the Seahawks money line. Listen, they're at home and they put up a lot of points. I think this game's going to go down the wire, and the fact that they were underdogs just made me interested in this game to add to it. So the Seahawks are the best offense in the league since week 3. Think about that for a second. Did we ever think in a million years that we would say since week 3, and now we're going to week 6, they are the best in the league, averaging 34 points a game, 34.3 to be exact. That is incredible. I know their defense sucks. I get that, but the Cardinals don't have a lot of weapons, and they struggle on offense. I'm not saying they're not going to score because I think me and Ryan could put together a team and get some points against the Seahawks right now. So
Yeah.
I just think the Cardinals are not very good. It's kind of a coin flip game. I'll take the home underdog. And add that to the Jaguars, who already crushed that team. You get plus 425. It's a big chance, big odds. I like it though. That's going to be a last best bet. Jags and Seahawks moneyline parlay.
Nice.
What do you think? 7-0?
7-0. Yep. Write it down. Lock it in.
Yeah, we just got to win some money. So yeah, that's our 7 bets. You got anything else to add, Ryan?
Played baseball last night. Hit my first home run of the season for some softball.
Did you really?
Felt good. Yep. Turned a couple double plays. I'm terrible at softball, man. I'm terrible at baseball. That's not my sport, but I had fun. It was good to play with my teammates and my friends.
Nice. You play on a little league field this time? Is that
Pretty
right?
much, basically. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
I just kind of swung the bat out there, and yeah, it went over the fence.
Sweet.
How
much time do we have? The Mariners.
Oh yeah. Oh boy.
I'm not gonna lie. That game 1. If you saw game 1 against the Astros for the Mariners, they were up the whole game. They crushed Verlander, and they bring in Robbie Ray to face Yordan Alvarez, which is a dumb idea in the first place because Robbie Ray gives up home runs on a lot of them. That one hurt. Like, I couldn't watch any baseball highlights of any other game. It was close to the Seahawks Super Bowl 1-yard loss. It was brutal. And then they lose again today because they can't rebound from that. So down 2-0. We've been there before. We can come back like in 95, win 3 straight against the Yankees. Let's do it against the Astros. Probably not happening, but you never know. All right, that's it. That's our baseball softball rant to end it. NBA reminder, NBA preview. Those links are going to be down below if you want to go check those out. And that top 10 or starting 5 list will be out pretty soon. Other than that, thanks for subscribing. Really appreciate it. Everyone following along, whether it's while you're at work or at home or anything. It's really cool that you guys are listening to us. If you have any questions or anything, leave a comment, or if you have a best bet for us, leave one of those too. So that's all we got for you today. Appreciate it. Have a good one.